Here is your script with light paraphrasing. Word order and sentence structure adjusted slightly while preserving your original tone, rhythm, and full length. Use just 2 simple words, and you might notice her attention start to shift your way. This is where female psychology really comes into focus. If you've ever had the feeling you were doing everything right, only to see the connection suddenly grow cold, understand this first. It's not your fault. The real issue is that nobody ever explained how attraction is actually processed inside the female mind. Women evolved with an incredibly refined social radar. Subtle facial expressions, tiny shifts in tone, and even brief pauses during conversation are picked up almost instantly, often before conscious thought even begins. Many men struggle because they are performing. They depend on mental scripts and carefully manage the way they come across. A woman's nervous system often senses that performance as a mild threat, not dangerous, but a little inauthentic. This is where emotional congruence matters. When your words truly match who you are, that's when genuine connection starts to happen. Before we explore those 2 words, if this has already given you an aha moment, take a moment to hit the like button below. That tells me you're ready to go deeper. The first word to master is interesting. But this isn't about throwing out empty compliments or sitting through awkward silence. It should become an anchor for your presence. Picture this. A woman shares something unusual or expresses an opinion you don't fully agree with. Most men respond in one of 2 ways. Either they agree immediately to avoid tension, or they turn the conversation back toward themselves. Both reactions signal insecurity. A grounded man responds differently. He pauses, looks her in the eyes with genuine curiosity and says, "That's interesting. Tell me more about that. Why is this so powerful?" Because it sends 3 messages at the subconscious level all at once. First, it shows you aren't threatened by her perspective. Second, it demonstrates you have a strong center and can hold your own viewpoint alongside hers. Third, it proves you're present and truly engaged. Research shows that sustained curiosity is one of the strongest drivers of connection. When a woman feels she is genuinely interesting to a man, not because he is trying to impress her, but because he is truly listening, her brain releases dopamine and oxytocin. She begins to associate you with the feeling of being seen and understood. While most people try to look impressive, the magnetic man chooses to be interested. This level of depth and these subtle psychological triggers are explored much further in my full guide, Attraction Secrets, where we go beyond the obvious and help transform your presence into something unforgettable. Now let's move to the second word, and you might not expect this one. The word is no. Not a harsh or cold refusal, but a calm, clear no delivered without hesitation. Think about the last time you saw a man decline an attractive woman without wavering, over-explaining or softening the word until it lost its meaning. It's rare. When men feel attracted, many become yes men. They agree to everything, change plans, shift opinions, and even compromise their values to keep approval. Here's the truth. That behavior doesn't build attraction. It weakens it. The female attraction system is wired to notice men with a stable sense of identity. When you calmly say no, whether declining an unreasonable request or disagreeing with an idea, you send a rare signal. You don't rely on her approval to feel secure. Psychologists call this non-reactive confidence, and it is a cornerstone of masculine presence. I once worked with a client named Marcus. He wasn't wealthy, and he didn't have an athlete's physique, but he carried himself with calm certainty. A younger colleague once asked how he attracted so many women. Marcus smiled and said he stopped performing and started paying attention. One time, a woman he was dating asked him to cancel all his weekend plans for a last-minute trip she had arranged. Marcus calmly replied, "I can't this weekend. I've had plans for a month. Let's plan something next week." She pushed back, but he simply smiled and repeated, "I understand. But no, this weekend doesn't work for me." Instead of getting upset, she looked at him with deep respect. A man who can say no, especially when yes would be easier, is a man who feels trustworthy. These 2 words, interesting and no, are not manipulation tactics. They reflect an inner state of security. Interesting shows you are confident enough to be curious. No shows you are confident enough to maintain boundaries. Together, they create the quality women often describe as most attractive in a man: authenticity. You don't need to wait to develop this. You can begin today. Practice genuine curiosity in your next conversation and start setting small boundaries in everyday situations. Say no to a friend when you don't want to do something, without offering endless explanations. Boundaries aren't barriers. They are the structure of self-respect.